Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Lord IBO Reese Harts, and you're watching IZCE CORP EXCHANGE television. And this is a segment from IZCE Hedge Funds. For those of you who don't know, IZCE is IZCE CORP EXCHANGE. So we may be changing to that because, reincorporating into that because IZCE CORP EXCHANge is long. IZCE is shorter. And you can fit more into there. So you're looking. We got a report from from a small hedge fund that's a member of IZCE CORP EXCHANge in good standings. And I get a lot of report from these guys because they're looking for exposure. Oh, by the way, this is one of the Braga designs. It's a nice fit T-shirt right here. Very, very popular. We do a lot of advertising in our segments. And we're advertising the Braga design shirt right here. There's no logo. You know what I'm saying? The logo's in the back. It's very, very comfortable, and it goes good with anything. You could put it under your blazer. You could wear it like this. It's not a stretch shirt, but it fits really good on your clothes. People love them. You can get it for. The last one I had made for someone was $250. So you can get them for like $300. That was a discount because I, really like the guy. It's really cool with him. So it's $250, $300 for the Braga design fit. I think that's what we call it. It's the Braga design fit. This is Braga design fit. It's a long sleeve shirt. So anyway, one of the hedge funds by the title of Pour It On gave us a macro fund report, and they were focusing on products, education, taxes, strategies, formulas, building, improving people's skills, and you got to say, but he calls a lot of secrets, global money, dollar, euro, gold, many moving parts, policy, interest rates, and shorter versus longer, not short versus long equities or funds, but is it better to be shorter or is it better to be longer in the market? And these guys are really good. You got to come down and see them. I think they work out of the Brickell area, and it's a small, but they're gonna grow. Oh, they're going to grow. If they stick with it over the next 10, 20 years, they're going to be a very, very powerful moving force in the hedge fund industries. And they're a member of IZCE CORP EXCHANge in good standings. So they say work hard in education, being competitive. And, there is no longer a curiosity in the market because it is true. Because I sat down and I had lunch with one of the guys, and he was like, every time I turn on YouTube, I'm not one of those guys where I pay to knock off the commercials. But he says every time I look on there, there's a trading guru or there's somebody trying to sell options or how to get rich and live off of this stuff. So there's no longer a curiosity in the market. The market's not like a vague hush hush of groups of people who know something that you don't know. Good morning. So, and also emerging markets so the curiosity is out. Emerging markets. So under a global macro, he says the U.S. developed markets and advancing economies make up more than half of the GDP outside the U.S. is in emerging markets, and along with the world population, which is growing. Emerging markets are developing policies which affect economies and their assets, and more importantly, their reserves. Making investments, and this makes investments more about global trends and no longer about alternatives that could drive the macro scene in the future. As the U.S. dollar strengthens, it will always be played. The U.S. dollar will always be played, but yet Asian currency will become stronger. This is what they say now. The Asian currencies will become a lot stronger. They were looking at something in Austria, which didn't really turn me on. They had a good 2016 looking into the broad-based thing. And They would, the EU. They love the EU. There's something fierce. They say the EU is something fierce, and they're raising their rates, though their stocks are down, and they're projecting their stocks to go down as the U.S. raises their rates. So just the other day, this is a 2016 report. This is 2016, but I ran into them again, and they're projected that the U.S. that the EU stocks will go down as the U.S. raises interest rates. So look into that. Earning reports mean a lot to these people, and they have a thing they have a model where it's called a world domination model. No earnings, just revenues. And you're looking at their earnings per share and the way they're showing their profits, because you have accounting, first in, first out, last in, first out. You have to watch how people show their profits. So to break it down really quick, they have they gave me a catalyst for growth, the valuation, strength of the U.S. markets, and the argument being a liquidity issue. Does this exist outside of the U.S.? It is very important. Liquidity issues, you have liquidity issues in China, you have liquidity issues in Russian markets. It's not so easy to put your money in and just take it out. The hedge fund management, and then they went on to quote me, and they said, well, I was Mr. IBO Richards then. So as Lord IBO Richards says, investors and money managers in particular should first and foremost be aware of what the risk when executing positions. And then why liquidity? They're quoting me on this. Liquidity is part of what we call a wish-off trade. If you can get in, make sure you can get out. This is best learned from the federal government in the U.S. in sense of exit strategy. I said that. They quoted me on that. Then he goes on. He says, keep in mind in today's emerging markets, anything outside the U.S. is added risk in most cases that can't not be controlled. Question why go outside the U.S. when the U.S. economy is exercising trillions of dollars in stimulus programs. This covers with the rise in valuation in the U.S. securities and financials that currently exist in the trading markets. And it goes on a little bit, but I told them I would give them a segment. You're watching IZCE CORP EXCHANGE television. This is Lord IBO Richie Hards. Oh, boy, it's hard work. And IZCE CORP EXCHANGE television, IBO Richie Hards, and this comes from IZCE Hedge Funds. You can look it up on the site, IZCE CORP EXCHANge Hedge Funds. And when you scroll down, you'll see Pour It On, a member of IZCE CORP EXCHANge in good standings. And who is that? Danny? Is that the Sunigas? That's Danny and those guys? We got a good report from Pour It On, hedge funds. I don't know if he's still with those guys, but he's one of those guys. They're fierce too. They'll come in and they'll take your business. You'll sit back and do nothing, and they'll give you 10% and take 90%. But I'm not sure if he's still part of that organization. Good family friend of mine, and you give a shout out to him. We had a rough time with COVID. So IZCE CORP EXCHANge, Lord IBO Richie Hards, IZCE CORP EXCHANge Hedge Funds, Pour It On. You're watching IZCE CORP EXCHANge television, and this was a report from Pour It On, a member of in good standings on the IZCE CORP EXCHANge in good standings, and really good people to work with. They always got good things to say about people, and their reports are sincere. And don't forget the Braga Design Fit, $250. They're selling like hotcakes. Thank you, and have a very blessed day. Goodbye.